Hi, it's Jenny, and I want to welcome you to this episode of Let's Build and Lead. This is episode number 9. And today we're going to talk about how to fill your calendar with potential clients, with leads, with those calls that we can close into our programs, products, and services. And so today I'm going to give you the how-to, the way that I've done it for years successfully, and what works super, super well. And my experience from this actually comes from before this job. So before I ran, my business, I used to work for a big box retailer years ago. And I worked for them for a really long time. And in that time that I worked for them, I transferred into the marketing department. And in the marketing department, I was responsible as a road rep to call people, cold call them. I had this little card that had some names, like their name and their phone number and a little bit of information about what they did. And I had to cold call them and get them interested enough to actually see me for an appointment. In the appointment, I would try and close them into purchasing a membership with this big box retailer. And that was the job. I got a lot of no's, I got a lot of hang-ups, I got a lot of people telling me to take a hike, but I got a lot of people who also said yes to me. And by going through that process and making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cold calls, I readily started getting a profile and understanding how to identify really good leads. So I would know just by what they said and what they talked about and how we interacted, whether or not I thought that was a hot lead, and when I showed up, if they would close. And that was my job. So I would fill my entire day with 6 to 8 appointments, and I would drive to these appointments and I would try and sell them a membership with this big box retailer. And there was still appointments that I showed up at. They were like, oh no, I changed my mind, and it would feel like such a bust. And then there was the ones you showed up at and they were all for it, right? So sort of the moral of the story of this, or what I'm trying to say is that through doing all those cold calls, I was able to really identify sort of the patterns that make for a really strong lead. And in this job, and running this business, I can use those skills that I learned to identify how to approach people, how to get them interested in what I'm offering, which is a call or a program, and then how to convert those people. So what I want to share with you today is actually how to fill your calendar, and I'm going to give you a little bonus on how to run a call that'll help you close more clients. I'm going to give you the rundown on this, okay? So basically, in the end, all we want, if you're in the business of selling a program, product, or service that requires you to get on a phone with somebody to sell it, all we want is to get more viable leads. We don't want the tire kickers, the people who aren't going to buy from us, that are just going to waste our time. We want real solid people. And so this is what we're going to talk about today. All right. So funny enough, before I wanted to create this video, I do a lot of research. And the research I did was into how to book your calendar with leads. I wanted to see if anybody else was doing this. And the information I got back was just really, really bad. There was nobody who's posting on the internet that I could find that sort of talked about the same thing that I do, or even did the same thing that I do and shared the information. So I'm really excited to do this because I couldn't find it anywhere, at least not the way I do it. Basically, how you want to fill your calendar with potential clients and really good leads is to do a couple things. Now, one, if you don't have a list, okay, if your go-to can't be your email marketing list and you have to figure out another way to do it, then we're going to do it with a little bit of effort, okay? We're going to use Facebook groups. We're going to use LinkedIn. We're going to use Instagram. If it's in your space, you can use Pinterest, but I don't focus on Pinterest, so I'm not going to talk about that. You're going to use the social media avenues and the platforms that pertain to your ideal client. If your ideal client is playing on Facebook, then focus your attention on Facebook. If your ideal client is playing on Instagram, then focus your attention there. My ideal client is playing on Facebook and sometimes on Instagram. So I focus on Facebook all the time. That's where I'm in there all the time. I'm on Facebook constantly because that's where my people are. And so I'm always creating content that is curated towards Facebook so that I can get in front of those people. And if I want to get leads, I'm going to use Facebook. Now, I do have a list. And so I do use my list to get client call or potential client calls. And I also have a Facebook group, which I've curated and grown over the years. And that's another place that you can do it. So if you do have a Facebook group, or if you don't already, one of the steps I'd like you to do is, one, if you don't have a group, go create a group that literally has the title and the name of the product that you offer. Okay, so my group that I have several, but one of the groups that I have is called List Build and Lead. All right, it's all about list building and getting leads. Just like the name of this series, just like the name of this training, List Build and Lead. All the names kind of pertain to each other so that everybody can identify who Jenny Wright is and what Jenny Wright does. So if you don't already have a group, go ahead and create a group. You can grow that group, and I'm going to share how you can grow that group in another training. And you can start using that to curate your people. You can start sharing really good content in there and getting people to know, like, and trust you. And then when you ask for things like, hey, I've got 4 spots in my calendar next week, anybody want to get on with me? Then you're going to be able to close that with quality leads. Okay. If you don't have a Facebook group and you do not want to have one, then find a Facebook group where your ideal client is and look at the rules in that group. If the rules in that group say you can promote, awesome. Now there's a whole bunch of caveats to that. If the Facebook group says you can promote, I don't want you to go crazy and start promoting in that group and asking people to book a call with you. It's not going to work. There is a good way and a bad way. There's literally the spammy and the non-spammy. We're going for non-spammy, okay? So Facebook groups. Same with Instagram. You can change the link on your bio on Instagram to booking a call. So jennywright.com/call, or make it something easy so that people can actually book it, as opposed to the super long link from like Calendly. So make like a pretty link or something that is really easy, or a bit.ly that you can put in there and people can easily, get to. Okay. So that's the other aspect of it. And then LinkedIn too, you can also, with LinkedIn, it's a bit different. You want to create those quality posts and then drive people to book a call with you there. So it's a little bit different than Facebook. I'm going to focus mostly on Facebook for this training, simply because it's where I play the most. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at Facebook groups, read the rules. If the rules say you can promote, then you're going to go about it a certain way. If you're going to post in Facebook groups, basically what I do is I would recommend that you look for somebody who's actually posting a question about the topic that you're really, really good at, as opposed to you technically posting a question or a post, okay? So I want you to be the person who answers versus the person who posts 90% of the time. So I want you to go in that group, you see a question and you're like, oh, I can answer that one. Just be like, hey, Margaret, absolutely. When it comes to XYZ ABC, I would totally recommend that you do this, and give them some of the good strategy right in the response. And then say something like, if this makes sense, or if you need some more information, I'm happy to chat, or I'd love to chat with you. All right. And do this consistently in more than one group. I mean, you can find more than one where your ideal client plays. I know I can. And do this consistently. This will get people who actually goes, yeah, message me. So you end up messaging them, hey, how's it going? Did you understand what I was saying? If you need more information, I'm happy to do a call. And invite them to do a Zoom call with you. Most people will say yes. It doesn't seem like a sales call. And quite honestly, you're not doing a sales call. You're going to do what I call a no pitch call. And I'll explain what that is. And trust me, the no pitch call actually closes clients. I'll tell you more. It's really good. Okay. So that's Facebook groups, okay? In 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018, I posted in groups first of all, I responded to a whole bunch of posts and I would get tons of calls. But what I also did is I did create a post, and I'm going to tell you what the post is. You can modify it to serve your own needs. So in 2015, I was supposed to go on vacation. It was around Christmas time, and my plans fell through. Couldn't go for whatever reason, and all of a sudden I had all this free time where I had completely booked off my calendar, and what was I going to do? So I put a post in a group, and I basically said, hey, my plans have fallen through. I've got about 4 books I'm going to read, but between that, I'd love to be able to help some of you guys with the problems that you're having. So if you're struggling with list building and lead generation and marketing strategy and this and that, I'm your girl, and I'm offering you a free no pitch call. I will not pitch you on this call. I'm just here to help. If that sounds good, just write yes below, or talk to me or something and below. And so many people were responding yes. And so I ended up booking, in 2015, I booked like 35 calls. Did the same thing again, but I did it in February or March of 2016, did it again in 2017, did it again in 2018, did it again this year in spring. And every time I do that, I mean, obviously the story changes and it's true. It's not a fake story. It's like, hey, you know what? Next week's looking pretty light for me. I can take 10 people next week and do calls. 25 people will try and book a call because I'm authentically trying to help them. So that's a really good strategy. So let's talk about email marketing, and then I'm going to tell you about the no pitch call. So email marketing, how you get really good potential clients on the phone with you is by creating consistency. So emailing your list every single week. And I know I say this a lot, but email them every single week. Pick a day, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, not Monday or Friday, because Monday people are just getting back from the weekend. They're this, they're that. But on Fridays, same thing, they're going into the weekend. So Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I do Thursdays. Thursday's a good day for me. Tuesday's also a good day for me, but I tend to do promos on Tuesdays, and Thursdays I do content emails. Okay, so, but I do email every single week. Hands down, rain or shine, sick or healthy, you got to do it. Okay, if you create that consistency where they know every single week you're going to be in their inbox and you're going to provide value, when you make an offer to them, they're like, absolutely, I'm on it, let's go. But if every single week, or if every once a month, or every third week you end up in their inbox and it's only to ask for something in return, like get on this webinar, buy this $97 product, whatever it is, then you're going to have a list that's not going to be so eager to actually book a call with you. Okay, so consistency is number one for you. If not, all they're going to hear is white noise from you, and they're not going to book. The other thing is that each email should create a ton of value, which you guys have heard a lot, but what's that value like? Okay, it doesn't have to be a 300-word email. It could be a 5-minute video. It could be a handout. It could be, hey, I created this, my client Monique and I created this template together, and I thought you guys could use it. So here's the email that Monique and I wrote for her list, and she's given us permission, and here you go. Go ahead and use it, have at it. People love that stuff, right? Create a weekly show like I do every single week, rain or shine, sinuses blocked with allergies or not, I'm here, and I'm here to provide content for you and support you, right? People will get used to that, and that consistency really gets them going, and that value really gets them going. Okay, so use your email marketing. I don't care if you have 20 people on your list or 20,000, use your email marketing. That is a key. So let's talk about the anatomy of a no pitch call. So what the heck is a no pitch call? A no pitch call is a call where you provide a ton of value and you do not offer your program, product, or service. It's not a sales call. It's a no pitch call. But funny enough, this call closes clients. I can do no pitch calls all day long, and I will close clients all day long. I will close 3 out of 5, right, of these calls. I get a really high percentage, and I'm not even pitching. And you know why they work? Because in your head, you are not pitching. You know it's a no pitch call. So you're not after anything in return. You're literally just helping people out. And the energy that you create from just helping people completely transforms the call. If somebody on the other end of the phone knows that you're not going to pitch them and try and get them to, ask for money from them, or try and convince them to join something. I mean, we're bombarded all day long of people trying to convince us to do this, that, and the other. But if you can do a no pitch call, your energy changes, their energy changes, you provide a great amount of value, they receive that value without feeling like you're about to turn the tables on them and try and steal their credit card number. The whole call becomes so much more calmer, so much more easier to do. And trust me, when they feel that way and you feel that way, you deliver your best, they receive the best. And at the end, guess what happens? They go, Jenny, what can I do to work with you? You've been amazing. This call is fantastic. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just using myself as an example. Could use anybody as an example. And they say, oh, this has been great. I mean, you've just provided a ton of value. Thank you. I feel so much better. What does it look like to work with you? And that's the answer. That is where the no pitch call is now done. And you can move into this is now a sales call, okay? But it's a no pitch call. And if you don't get the person saying at the end of the call, how is it that I can work with you? No problem. No problem. I hope this, so let me tell you how this kind of works. Okay. The anatomy of a no pitch call, and take notes on this if you can. The anatomy is you want to make it very limited time. All right. You have 20 minutes. You have 30 minutes. That's it. Don't make it a 40-minute call. Don't make it a 10-minute call. You can't do a no pitch call in 10 minutes. It's a 20 or 30. Okay. Tell them at the call, you know what, Joanne, I'm so glad to get to talk to you. We have 30 minutes together today. So I'm going to structure this call in a way so I can get the most information from you and then provide the most amount of value. Is that okay? Right? So you lay the groundwork, because if not, people can tell you about their problems and it could take up to 20 minutes for them just to tell you what's going on. So you need to set the tone for the call, and then you need to politely keep people from going into story mode. All right, so what I do is I say, Joanne, why don't you tell me the biggest issue that you're struggling with right now in 3 sentences? Okay, that makes it tight, right? So people will do that. Once they've done that, if they go into story mode, politely stop them and just say, great, okay, I just want to pull you back into the biggest problem that you're struggling with, and I just want to keep it brief. So you were saying ... and keep it really tight. Once you've received enough information, then I would say and repeat back to them their big issue. So if I understand you right, Joanne, it seems like you're struggling with losing that last 15 pounds. Is that right? And get them to say yes. So now they feel like they've been heard. You listen to them, which is huge. They've been heard, which they love. And now you're ready to move into clarifying and actually serving in that issue, right? So you move into solutions. So this is the next step, is the solution step. I want you to offer them 2 or 3 very tactile, I can use this now, get a good win solution. Okay, so if it's weight loss, give them something. If it's, for me on my side, if it's funnel building or list building, I could say, look, you know what, Joanne, I believe that for you to grow your list by 100 people, that's the struggle. You want to grow your list by 100 people in the next month. This is the 3 steps that I would do to get there. And I would lay it all out. And I'd ask them, does this make sense to you? Are you in agreement with this? Get assent. I want them to say yes. Then I ask them, has this been helpful for you at all? Have you gotten something out of this time together? They're going to say yes. Now, if they don't naturally say, what would it look like to work with you? Because I think you're awesome. Your next question is there anything else I can do to help you? We've got 2 more minutes left on this call. Is there anything else I can do to help you? Trust me, in that moment, you're either going to get, nope, no thanks, I'm good. And you say, no problem, have a great day. Or you're going to get the, do you have enough time to tell me like what it would look like to work with you? Or, do you have a service that takes care of this problem that you just told me how to fix? Because sometimes people want the solution from you, but they don't actually want to implement it. So if you have the solution and you implement, like, you're golden. The person's going to be like, oh, this has been great, Jenny, but can you now implement that strategy? Well, yes, I can. And then I ask them, is it okay if I share with you how it is that we could work together? If that person asks. If they don't ask, I don't offer, okay? And then that's the only time I do it, is when I get assent. And it's really, really important that you don't switch into sales mode unless people ask you that question. Unless they ask you, how can I work with you? Don't go there, okay? Now, the bonus points for you in this strategy is once the call's over, if they haven't asked to work with you, the bonus points is actually you following up with them a couple days later and just saying, hey, how's it going with that, that strategy about drinking 4 more glasses of water, or getting an extra hour of sleep, or, posting in your Facebook group twice a day. How is that strategy going for you? And is there anything else I can do to help? If you follow up on that call, chances are, again, you've now opened the door for another person to say, yes, please tell me more about working with you, or yes, I've done this strategy, what else can we do? I only do 1 free no pitch call, by the way. If people want to talk to me again, I always say, you know what, I'd be happy to talk to you, but I'm going to have to do this in a more formal way. So I'd like to offer you a package. That'll weed out the people who are still maybe possibly tire kicking, but it'll get you really tight with the people who are actually really keen on working with you. Make sense? Awesome. Okay. If you go the extra mile, people will respond to it. They will love it. Right? Makes sense? So with the ready now call, or sorry, not the, if you do the no pitch call, that's going to go very far for you. The ready now call, which is a completely different type of call. A ready now call is the people that are like, they know it's a pitch call. They know you're going to sell to them. They know you're going to talk to them about your program, product, or service. The ready now call I tend to only use with the email marketing. Okay, so I'll use the ready now call in my email marketing. I'll use the no pitch call on my Facebook groups, on social media, and sometimes in my email marketing, but I will never ever use a ready now call on social media. Okay, simply because people on social media, or I find for my business, that it doesn't work. So what is a ready now call? So we've talked about the no pitch. What's the ready now? A ready now call is people that when you get them on a call, they know that, like I said, they know you're going to pitch them. And it's probably because in your email copy, you've already talked about your program, your product or service, and why you're offering that call. So, you know, what it looks like to work with me, it's going to cost X amount of dollars for X amount of weeks. If this sounds like something you'd like to get more information from, please click on this link and book a call, and we can see if you're a fit for the program. That's a ready now call. If people book that call, you know they're at the point where they're just needing to get over the hurdle of why they would work with you. Maybe it's the money, maybe it's the commitment, maybe it's the tech, I don't know. And they're ready to go. So they're ready now. You just got to get them there. Okay. So the last thing in a ready now call is you still want to employ some of the no pitch ideas. You want to ask them the biggest problem that they're struggling with at the moment. You want to offer maybe one little solution, but say to them, I'd love to give you more information. However, these are the topics that we go deeper in coaching package, or this is the stuff that we talk about in my digital online course, or this is part of the group program or the membership program that I offer. And I'd love to talk to you about what that might look like for you. Can I share that with you? Again, I'm always about getting people to say yes and give me assent and okay and permission. I love getting permission. So that would be something that I would do in a ready now call. So let me know if this makes sense to you. Let me know if you're enjoying this. Let me know if you're getting something from this. That's really important to me. Okay, so what we've gone over today. We have gone over how to get calls from email marketing. We have gone over how to get calls from social media, mostly on Facebook. We have gone over the anatomy of a no pitch call. And we've gone over the quick anatomy of a ready now call. And I've also told you that the ready now calls are only email marketing, but the no pitch calls can be social media and and email marketing. So those can go on both. Hopefully this has been helpful. It's been great sharing this information with you. I look forward to seeing you next time for the next episode, and we will talk soon. Thanks for being here, and take care. Bye.